I guess I hadn't totally put together that Smith is responsible not just for the January 6th investigation, but he's also the one leading the probe into the classified documents issue that led to the raid on Mar-a-Lago. You know, Trump just pled last month not guilty to 37 charges stemming from that investigation. I can't help but feel like there's some kind of conflict that this guy who's already leading an investigation that is going to trial was like, great, so now that we've got those charges under, we're starting another one. Here we go. Right. That seems like complete conflict of interest. Like, why would we continue to fund money towards this person? Exactly like what you're saying, when it seems like there is a clear timeline issue. You have to question intent when someone who could bring these charges later is like, no, but we have to do them now. Yeah. And also, now that I have some charges on the table, I want more.
Exactly.
How will we know he's not going to open up a third investigation? Like, this is going to go on and on and on.
They can do this all day long. And so this is from gates.house.gov. The power of the purse is not some intermittent thing that we wield every fiscal cycle. It's something that we have to wield in and day out to achieve victory for our people and stop this. I'm under no illusion that the Democrats will bring such legislation up in the Senate, but the American people deserve to know where Congress members stand. I think that's exactly right. I think that's completely fair. I think that something does have to be done about this. And you're right. The timing of this investigation is more than a little suspicious. Yeah. The idea that, well, this is the DOJ and they just have no common interest. Look, the Department of Justice said after Roe was overturned that they were going to essentially dishonor what the court wanted. They were going to make sure that these procedures were as protected as they possibly could be. They were also going to increase their vigilancy against violations of the FACE Act, and what that ended up resulting in was trumped up charges against Mark Houck. The idea that the left-wing political apparatus isn't collaborating with itself because it has so much respect for the idea of checks and balances within the United States government, when these people repeatedly say by any means necessary and that they're interested in the process and not the results, isn't just hopelessly naive. It's actually cynical. These people know what they're doing. They know why they're saying the things that they're saying, and they're exploiting the American people's good faith.
I remember back in 2016 when there were all the Trump-Clinton things breaking, and there was Russiagate, right, and the PP tape and all that, and you always saw the name Peter Strzok, and then there was Hillary Clinton, the 33,000 emails, and you saw the name Peter Strzok. And I remember thinking, does anyone else work at the DOJ? Right, like how come this one guy?
He is the DOJ.
And that's what I think of with Jack Smith now. It's like everything is his case. Like, doesn't the DOJ have 40,000 people who work there? How come this one guy seems to be getting all the big cases?
Two probes into Trump right now.
How come he never goes to his supervisor and is, can I just have something else off my plate? Like, I'm really busy these days.
I don't want to delegate anything.
It's very funny how the same people get all of these cases.
Right.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
It's just a coincidence that he's probably not definitely being like, okay, but what's the next thing I can bring against Trump?
Yeah.
Like,
how is it not suspicious to people that the man is continually investigated by people who hate him, and every investigation up until this point has shown that he was innocent, that he was not guilty of the thing that they were alleging, and they just keep launching new investigations into him, and we're supposed to believe it's not politically motivated. It's insane.
Yeah. And I think there are a lot of cases of this right now where, you know, with this case it's the DOJ, but there are a lot of attorney generals, and Trump has experienced this with Letitia James in New York, who will say, we think you did something wrong. Give us all your private information and confidential data, and we'll go through it, and then we'll decide what charges we're bringing against you.
Just as the founders intended.
Just as the founders intended. This is the America they promised me, right? Yeah. Where you are under investigation, you are subject to subpoena, you have to comply, or else be brought up on some other kind of charges, unless they decide they like you, right? Like, this is completely about political favoritism. It's not about justice. It's not about accepting that some people have different values than you do.
They found a bag of cocaine at the White House.
But we don't know.
Like, who cares?
Could be anybody's.
George Washington left that there.
Like,
no idea.
Exactly. And like, it could be anybody's. Yeah, let's find out who. That makes it scarier. It could be anyone at the White House. This bag of coke. Who's doing this?
And shouldn't we be concerned that the Secret Service, who's tasked with protecting the president, can't tell you where that came from?